The meaning of the movie. Author Orpheus to read for minutes. Published on the 28th of November 2020. Updated on the 28th of November 2020. The Road is a free adaptation of Cormac McCarthy's novel of the same name, released in late 2009. The movie is shot in the genre of post-apocalyptic road movie. The absence of zombies with mutants and blockbuster action affects the perception of what is happening on the screen in the most unexpected way. It does not reduce, but only adds to the horror and creepiness of what you see. And this is despite the fact that the creators, John Hillcoat and Joe Penhall, who worked on the adaptation, did not risk inserting into the movie all the dark and wild naturalism from the literary source material. The movie also deliberately understates the scale of events, and there's no hint of a happy ending. Instead of cool lone heroes, who fulfill the sacred mission of the chosen ones, only surviving people, scattered and doomed, appear in the frame. More precisely, not people, but what is left of them after several years of wandering around the world scorched by catastrophe. The characters don't even have names. The main characters of the picture, survivors of the man-made collapse, a man and a boy of about 8 years old, make their way to the ocean through the terrible devastated places. Their task is clear: to get sustenance, find lodging, protect themselves from danger and move forward on the road to the place where it should be better, at least warmer and more nourishing. The post-apocalyptic environment isn't just bleak and dreary, it's depressing. Nothing alive, not a blade of grass or a tree, not a beast or an insect. Dirt, grayness, ash, gloom. Only survivors can be encountered, most of whom bear little resemblance to humans. For years now, filthy creatures in rags, with rotten teeth and disheveled hair, feral and embittered, have been prowling the land in search of resources for survival. They desecrate and destroy everything around them, living a life of looting, murder and cannibalism. Father and son do not resemble them, but try in every possible way to preserve their humanity. And the theme of morality comes to the forefront of the movie. What to do with the person you meet, to share supplies, which you have little of, or to rob? What to do with those who try to turn you into prey and roast you for dinner? The father has only 2 cartridges in his revolver, left for emergencies, for himself. He holds his son's hand tightly and leads him confidently down the road. In the flashbacks that are periodically shown in the movie, there are glimpses of the characters' past lives. Here the protagonist says goodbye to his dying wife and promises to survive this hell and take care of their baby. The son knows nothing about how things used to be. His childhood wasn't spent playing on the computer or in the schoolyard, but wandering the devastated land. He is no longer like a child, but like an animal that learns from the leader to fight and survive. This is the second idea of the story, to show the relationship between a father and son who are captives of the circumstances of which they have become unwitting victims. The man calls them good people and explains why. They don't kill anyone, they scavenge for plant food and carrion that they can find, they behave non-aggressively. The second difference from the bad guys is that they have a fire inside. This is how the father explained to the child that a person can overcome and endure a lot as long as he has something to hope for, something to believe in, someone to live for. Another theme of parental love and sacrifice reaches its apotheosis in the film's finale. When the father and son reach the coast, they are deeply disappointed. It is no less desolate and hopeless. The weary and exhausted father, who has long been tormented by a cough and blood, dies. The orphaned boy is found by another man. In him the viewer recognizes a character once met the heroes of the film. A well-armed and equipped man with a dog scared them off near a bunker with a cannibal farm. The man has a wife and a child. His voice was heard by the boy when he and his father came across a farmhouse that preserved traces of a peaceful former life. The orphan agrees to continue the journey with them. At this time, the camera shows a close-up of the hands of the people who took the boy. They are missing several fingers. The adults lost them voluntarily in order to feed their children in a hopeless situation. The movie, The Road, with its seemingly simple plot about apocalypse and survival, is a parable, a multifaceted metaphor. After watching this heavy and gloomy picture, the viewer, numbed by horror, thinks, in the struggle for existence, can we not turn into non-humans devouring each other? Do we have the strength and courage to withstand the circumstances and not give up until the last? What are we capable of for the sake of our loved ones? It is not for nothing that in the course of the movie narration the son's questions addressed to the father, about good people and in a fire, in a man, are heard.